that's a good edit point, Adam.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, that was well timed actually. It was literally the start of the
our edit point.
I love how
the next level.
That's a good edit point, and we continue to talk shit over the start of the record.
It's your old friends at Monday Madness, and welcome back to our top 100 games of all time list.
When we finish this, you
that
need
will
to
probably change next year.
Card subject to change. So we last entry then at 71.
It's subject to change now, to be honest.
Change in the last 10 minutes.
Yes. So
but we're allowed to change it up until we record, then it's locked in until at least next year.
When it becomes canon, that's when it's locked in. Yeah.
It's okay.
Good. So Adam, would you like to give us your number 70 to start us off?
So my 70, we go to an anime-esque style cartoon game, popular on the PlayStation 1, where you ride around on pigs. It's called Tumba.
Okay.
Or Tumby if you're American.
Yes.
It's actually a really fun little 2D platformer.
Yes.
Do you want me to talk about it, or are you familiar?
No, I'm not actually. I thought you were talking about something else.
No idea what you're talking about.
Story-wise, you are a...
Sorry, what platform was it?
PlayStation 1.
Play PS1.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
No.
So it's 2D platformer. You've kind of got two layers to each screen, so you can run along the front or run along the background, like similar to how Crash Bandicoot did the side-scrolling levels.
Yeah.
You're basically it's a puzzler game, so you're running around collecting keys and items to open up new areas, and the story is you're like a kind of Neanderthal wild boy who is brought in to save the world from evil wizard pigs. I cannot describe it any more succinctly than that.
Am I right in saying that has like kind of Polynesian vibe to it?
No, you'd be completely wrong.
Okay. I am thinking the wrong game then.
You're a pink-haired boy. You
Yes.
get a mace weapon, so you swing around. It's really fun mechanically. It's a great platformer, and since nobody else knows anything about it, I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, talk away. I mean, I think this section of my list will be really fun for Jonathan to try and hunt down clips.
I accept your challenge.
Wait, one thing I will say about this is the leaf butterflies can eat a dick.
Leaf butterflies eat dicks.
All the comment section now are just going, finally he mentioned the leaf butterflies.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm glad somebody came out and said
It's
it.
the hardest thing to do. You have to. They randomly spawn when you're sliding down leaves, and you need to catch them. So you need to slide down a leaf,
right.
jump on their back, and catch 30 of them, and they'll randomly spawn. You need 30 of these fuckers to finish the game 100%.
Jesus Christ.
It can take up to an hour to get all of them.
That must kill fucking speedrunners if they do it 100%.
No, they've got it really fast.
God damn it.
They've optimized it.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, moving on.
Yes, so my number 70 then, keeping with the anime theme, Gran Turismo 2.
You have to put just like initial D, deja vu.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo!
Gran Turismo 2!
Kansai Drifto!
Anyway, for me, probably the best driving game you can get on the PS1. purely based on how many cars you have.
I don't think it's that hard, Jonathan.
No, it's not even that. It's not really a contest in fairness.
Yeah. That was in and around the period that the Gran Turismos pretty much just ran racing.
Yes.
Like I think the F1s, they just had F1 and that was it. And if you weren't into F1, you just didn't buy those games.
Yeah,
but if
exactly.
you were into anything with wheels, you bought a Gran Turismo.
Absolutely, yeah. No, there's no, like I said, no contest really.
Took ages for Colin McRae to come out and.
Yeah, no, that was it. Yeah, and then Colin McRae came out.
Like I
really
said, yeah, like the race, like PS1 for me was a very like racing oriented console because of the way it controls and it just had the ability to do that.
Yeah,
but there wasn't many people that was doing it.
Yeah,
like,
the marketing at the start as well. I'm like, well, what are one of the games that was released was Wipeout.
Yes,
and that was kind of one of those games. But the soundtrack done by the Prodigy.
Yeah,
the similar but legally distinct from the Prodigy.
The Prodigy.
Yeah, the Prodigy.
The Prodigy. They're from New Jersey.
The Protestants.
So I suppose like,
the Protestants.
But I remember Turismo like being kind of one of the first kind of series of simulation.
Yes,
kind of
like a real. Like I like to say, it always specified itself as a simulator. It never called itself a
only
game.
topped by a test drive off road.
Of course, but that's not a really contest there. But no, like I said, it was just a really great game for its time, and just like it was kind of funny. Like there's always like some little memorable things. Like I always find with Gran Turismo, it has its own favorite cars.
Yeah.
And the one I remember was what they call the HKS Drag, and it's just like a GTR or a 240SX, whichever one you can face off, and you have to try and beat it around an oval track. But it's a drag car, so it's like set for speed, and the only way you can do it is by getting the other favorite car from the game, the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak, and then just fucking bombing it down the way.
I heard all those words, but
Yeah.
it didn't register.
He's just saying random letters.
Once I put the video to it, it'll all make sense. But basically, those are the two.
It would make actually less.
Yes,
Yeah.
But those are two ridiculously OP cars.
So,
in the
so
game.
it drags into Suzuki, and then you get it sucked around the corner.
Sure. Let's
At
go
what
with
point
that.
did we drift?
There's no drifting. There's no drifting in
No
Gran
drifting
Turismo
in
2.
Gran Turismo.
No, it was only until Gran Turismo 4 that they had drifting.
But how did they get around the corners?
By turning.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cars do that.
Yeah. What happens when you have to brake and corner?
Oh.
Yeah.
You're gonna start talking to me about fucking Apexes now, and I just don't want to hear it.
Well, funny you should mention actually the license it tells you all about Apexes as well. Another cool thing about the game, I will say, and it's not really something they've done since, is that when you get like your normal kind of like bog standard car, you can do a racing car mod on it, and you can.
Sorry, yeah.
And you can turn it into like a touring car. So say if you have like a Honda Accord or something like that.
Thanks.
If you do like a Honda Accord or a Ford
That's gonna sound
Mondeo,
great.
you can turn it into the British touring car of that iteration. So it was actually kind of cool for the time because it's never been done since. So you can get like a Ford Tauros and it turns into an NASCAR by just doing the upgrade.
Nice.
And it's only like a livery thing and just gives it a better, more control. But it was a nice little gimmick for the time and just never done it since.
I love the passion in your eyes when talking about
Yeah,
this.
exactly.
I love that.
As the two of us just gloss over.
No, I loved it because you just have a collection of like cars you would recognise from other games.
No, it was,
Yeah.
it was,
You know,
it was
cool.
actually, it was really, really good.
Yes.
The latest one now is fantastic.
It's really good. It's really good. Neil, you're number 70.
My number 70, I've gone retro, old school, back to the Mega Drive. Worms.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's a fair show.
Quite low on your list.
Yeah, it is quite low on my list, but it's one of the funnest games. It's not really much of a. I mean, like, it's a very simple mechanic.
Yeah.
Basically, 4 friends in a room and you're blowing the shit out of each other.
Yeah, friends. I can play against computer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Friends.
Friends.
All on one controller.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
So you
no,
take
it was-
turns.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Hot seat action. Something you don't see very often.
Unless you want to watch our Let's Ruin of Worms on Monday Madness.
Splice.
Splice. Yeah. This is happening.
I'm loving how competitive we're getting.
Don't do it.
Don't.
Don't do it.
Don't kill Bingley.
Don't do it.
You're gonna
Don't
kill
you kill Bingley.
You cure us of blue waffle right now.
Don't kill Bingley, Neil. I'll never speak to you again.
Never.
You don't speak to me.
That sounds like a good win.
Never. Neil,
For Neil.
I'll never talk to you again.
Come on then.
Come on then, if you think you're on.
No emotional manipulation.
Neil,
Yes.
I'll never talk to you again.
Do you promise?
They're actually fighting each other real.
Oh fuck! I can't move.
I hope you blow your...
Oh,
38. Fucking hell, that's a bit harsh.
It is, but you...
Carry on, Neil.
But yeah, no, it was great. So many arguments.
Yeah.
Like,
Friendships destroyed.
Ferocious arguments. About being a backstabbing fuck. No, it was just hark back to a time when this game was pure fun, and
Yeah.
it's still continuing to this day. They fucked it up by trying to go 3D, immediately realised that it sucked ass, and then went back to this kind of really fancy 2D stuff, and even to this day it's just a brilliant formula.
Yeah,
perfect party game. It's just a perfect party game.
Yeah, oh no, it's an excellent party game.
Very good. Very good, very good.
Yeah, I can't really say, there won't be a single person who won't have heard of or played a Worms game.
Yeah.
It's just ubiquitous.
Worms Armageddon was very good as well, as I recall.
Yeah, it was great.
And Worms Mini Golf is so good.
Yeah.
World Party was pretty damn good as well. So yeah, it's weird. It's kind of like it's a mad sort of genre. It's one of those games that's a genre into itself.
Yes.
It's not a
It's
not a shoot 'em up. It's not. Yeah, it is turn based, but fuck, you can.
It's not the same thing. It takes elements of something.
It's just Worms. Like it's
Yeah,
a game you would use to describe.
it's a
other
strategy
games
game.
of that.
Yeah, it's a weird strategy game
Yeah.
Yeah.
with that one tactic of tunneling underground just being unforgivable.
You absolutely, the dick. And then like there's
cowards.
there's loads of like references as well in it, like with the holy hand grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was fucking
and the
brilliant.
super sheep.
Yeah,
That's
the
perfect.
super sheep. Just managing to snake your super sheep down a tunnel or around a fucking
Just-
asteroid field of broken debris and just nailing the guys dead on. And as he calls you an absolute bastard right to your face, you like, this is friendship.
You never saw him again.
You just bleat in his face.
Yeah. Watch as
on.
his fucking worm sinks into the fucking ocean or
Or all of his team is immediately blasted off the side of the map.
yeah, or we can just nail a banana bomb right next to
Yeah.
him.
Ooh, yeah.
Bang on.
There it is.
So
Such fun.
This is gonna be the fun one.
Scourging your
Adam, what's your 69?
My 69 is a game we all know and love. I'm sticking with the PlayStation 1 for me. It's Rayman.
Yeah.
Very
Okay, that's good,
nice.
yeah.
So you'll notice my platformers have all stuck together.
Yes.
Rayman, similar concept, I guess, to Tumba. You walk along, you fight monsters. Well, you avoid monsters. You rescue pixies, I believe it was.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, little non-disclosed pink
Yeah.
things.
Yes. I think they're meant to be fairies, but I think they call them pontoons or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
Yeah. Platoons.
Pretty fun game. One of the hardest levels I still have trouble with today. Eat at Joe's. It's
Oh my god, that
you
level.
get the
Is that Rayman
firefly.
Origins you're talking about?
No, this is the original.
It's
the
the
original one.
Yeah.
I think I have that on my list. Do I?
You had it was on earlier.
Oh yeah,
You had on the Saturn.
I had the Saturn. Yes,
Yes.
that's what it was. Yes.
It's just amazing. So
Yeah, it's a fucking fantastic game.
one thing I still have trouble with to this day is the mirror, the dark Rayman chasing you. I fucking
If you
love that
can
level.
get that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that far.
Oh?
That's the bit that stops me.
No, the Space Mama was always my fucking Achilles heel. She was such a hard boss because you had to do it in stages, like you know.
And it's a really fun game to watch speedruns of as well.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
I'll say that.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Jonathan.
Yes, so my 69, by the way, I enjoyed that about Rayman.
You're 69.
Yeah, my 69 is my. If we can all be professional here, please.
I think that ship has sailed a long time ago, Jonathan.
Yeah.
That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. Hit the iceberg.
I think I said-
James Cameron's making fucking movies about it.
I think I said that on day one of the channel. I got laughed out of the room. But, so my number 69 is my first Pokemon game of the list, and it is
Hell.
Pokemon Platinum.
Ooh.
I'm
So-
actually quite surprised you managed to get to 69 without getting into a Pokemon.
Yes,
No,
that's
he's
very
done
true.
Prism.
Did he?
Yeah, I did
Oh,
Prism.
it was
But
the
you're
ROM
right.
hack. It was
Yes.
the ROM hack,
Okay,
yeah.
first genuine Pokemon game then.
Nice.
So-
So, what has Gen 4, the generally considered the worst generation?
Yeah. like I said, I do feel like for me, like I kind of stopped initially at Gen 3 because I wasn't arsed playing
As we all
for a
did.
DS. Yeah, because I didn't want to buy a DS at the time, and obviously retroactively played it, and it's actually not that bad. I think it's always that kind of thing. It's in the middle of that kind of inertia that people have with the like the formulaic Pokemon games, and it is just full of tropes. But at the same token, they try to do different things. Like they had like so many legendaries in it. The actual villain of it is just an actual misanthrope. He just wants to destroy the world, which I think we can all sympathize with from time to time. But his idea is either to destroy time or space. Or in
in
case
Platinum.
or in Platinum, he tries to basically raise hell,
Whichever time or space, whichever goes first.
whichever comes first.
They're both happening at the same time.
So it was like some sort of,
Are they?
it was like some sort of continuum of some kind. But yeah, some of the Pokemon were quite good in it. They were kind of weird with the fan service of Gen 1 where they just said, I know, let's have an evolved form of Electabuzz that nobody asked for.
Electivire, Magmortar.
Yes,
Yeah,
Rhyperior.
no Jinx.
No. Probably a good thing in a way.
Yeah, that blackface. How else are you
Yeah,
gonna?
yeah, how else are you going to recover from that, really? But yeah, like it was a decent enough game. In Platinum they put an extra level called the Distortion World, where like the bad guy has actually raised this underworld creature, and you have to go through the Distortion World, and it makes use of the kind of 2.5D graphics the DS was able to do, where you have to try and maneuver this 3D puzzle.
It was also quite fun that the pseudo legendary or the mini legendaries, the trio, Azelf, Me Spirit, and Yuxi.
Yeah, they were good because they were actually part of the plot.
Yeah, they were part of the story then, rather than just an extra thing to catch.
It was the kind of the start of like Pokemon actually trying to write a plot in. This one was just very light. Gen 5 on the other hand is far higher on my list. Spoiler. And just for those reasons, so it's not going to be the first Pokemon game. It's not going to be the last on my list. I can tell you that much.
Right, we'll leave Gen 5 alone because of the controversial question that we have to ask with it.
Indeed. Neil, you're 69.
I've gone hellishly old school with my one. I'm back to the 64. I am going to enjoy watching you get clips of this motherfucker. It's one of the weirdest, most macabre games that I've ever played. It's Fiendish Freddy's Big Topo Fun on the C64.
What the fuck is that?
Essentially, it was a WarioWare kind of game where it was the story was there's a circus that's on a hill and it's about to be bought out by a property developer to put fucking apartments, and you have to stage a last show to raise enough money to prevent the property developer from buying it out. So, however, there's loads of different events. So there's like high dive, trapeze, knife throwing, juggling.
Interesting.
But
you described this as a macabre game.
It gets fucking pretty wicked because Freddy himself, keeps trying to fuck you up. So the high dive is weird. So the high dive comes in 4 or 5 stages. So you're diving, and as you're going down, it's progressively higher heights. And as you go down, you have to do stunts to raise money and thing. But Freddy will come on in a hover pack with a gigantic hairdryer and start blowing you off course to make you. And if you miss the fucking target, now your character absolutely splats out. There was no age rating on this thing. Yeah. But it was hilarious. So the tanks got progressively higher, but the tanks got progressively smaller. So it was like you start off with this gigantic vat of water, then a bucket,
then a glass.
No, the third one was weird. The third one I think was like an Acme little tribute, because the third one was a cinder block.
Oh, nice.
To land on a cinder block, and then the final one was a glass of water where your character kind of wedges in.
Okay, I'm sorry, I need to see this. Jonathan, when you find these
I'll try. I will absolutely try.
Madness.
It sounds like a real homemade game, like kind of like the British.
It wasn't.
Was it a British game or something? It sounds very British.
Properly done.
Yeah.
Get the Amiga Commodore screenshots and the things, because they were really colourful and very
good. If we can't find this, we're playing this. I don't care.
The juggling was good because you had to keep juggling things, and occasionally Freddy would come in and then toss in things like chainsaws, bombs, which you had to throw back at him, and babies, which you had to throw off to the other side of the other side of the screen into carriages. The trapeze as well was particularly bad, because if you took too long in the trapeze, because you had to kind of hop along the trapeze wires, and if you took too long, he'd come along in a jetpack and cut you off the elbows, just leaving 2 arms there. The tightrope walk was awful.
As opposed to cutting the lines on the trapeze,
he'd slice you off at the elbows. Like, it was fucking vicious.
Jesus.
Unforgiving.
The tightrope one was awful because it's a balance game, basically. So you have to kind of move forward with one set of keys and keep it balanced with the other. But you had to block things he would throw fucking like saw blades at you. And you had to block them, otherwise then he'd just slice you in half.
That's nuts.
And if you lost balance, the end game, kind of the game over death sequence, was your character hanging onto the tightrope, and he'd come up with a fucking hammer and mash your fingers off as you plummeted to your death.
This is so involved.
It was really macabre, really dark, and so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
Fiendish Freddy's Big Topo Fun. It's a game that just defies any kind of description.
Yes.
And you're helping Freddy.
And it's no, you're meant to thwart him. He's the one
he's the one trying
to buy out the circus.
But it's his Big Topo Fun.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I think it's meant to be ironic.
This sounds amazing.
Yeah.
It's just it's so bizarre, and my God, if anybody remade it right now, it would be age rated up the ass. And there was just no age rating on this. I was a child playing this game going, what on earth?
Actually, up the ass.
It explains a lot actually about Neil's humor as well.
Actually,
that is so
seriously,
nice.
but you're gonna when you're hunting down clips of this, you're gonna laugh your ass off.
I'd say so. I'd love to play it actually. It sounds brilliant.
If you get your C64, it'll never be on a C64 emulator. People are too much of a pansies nowadays. But yeah, go for it.
Just program it ourselves.
Hop it.
Adam, 68.
Well, I definitely can't top that.
No.
Ludicrous.
Hi-oh.
But can it be more fun?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
My 68 is Disney's Hercules on the PlayStation 1.
Not a bad game, as I recall.
I was actually very.
I got the demo
to be
for
honest with you, I was surprised. Now if a Disney game was going to come up, I was expecting Aladdin.
Now I've never played Aladdin, which might be the reason why.
Oh, that's a fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Like whenever people start saying like, oh, game versions of movies are shit, I always go, no, Disney's Aladdin was a fantastic game.
I've heard that.
Brilliant on the Mega Drive.
Hercules, fantastic as well. Danny DeVito's opening monologue of "Get your sword, rule number 95, aim." It's just amazing.
Exactly. You watch that, you're thinking, oh, now I know where they got.
Now I know how to be a true hero.
Yes.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like he's always wanted that character. He's been doing it since Hercules.
It's amazing. Great game. Progressive difficulty up the wazoo. It's amazing how fun it gets, how challenging it is.
Yeah.
Like collecting the power-ups when Herc is depowered and one hit kills him as you're running towards the Cyclops. In one of the 2 segments in the game where you're running into the screen. Yeah. It's awesome. And then the final fight with Hades where you're picking up lightning swords and fire swords. I'm saying all these things just so Jonathan can cut them into the video.
This is the worst thing about recording after I've done the first part, because now they know what I'm doing. So now I'm going to make my job harder.
We're just trying to make it as hard as possible. And the Hydra's head's just flailing everywhere. I'm expecting a Dark Souls cut just
No.
Yeah, so Disney's Hercules, check it out, or failing that, play Aladdin.
Yeah. To be fair though, I got the demo for Hercules and it actually wasn't too bad.
Yeah, the demo for it was very good.
Yeah, because they only just give you the first
Wait, you guys
level.
haven't played the full thing?
No.
I have, but
Good
if I was going to put a Disney game on there, it would have been Aladdin. But Hercules, that was a very good game.
Yeah.
It was really, really
I just remember the demo
amazing
being
game.
quite good.
Yeah.
Just collectibles, power-ups, secrets hidden everywhere. Yeah. Like you smash rocks, you pick up your name Hercules spelled out.
Yeah.
Along the
I remember
level.
that section alright. Yeah,
it's amazing.
Cool. Okay, so my number 68 then is a PS3 game, and so some people would say probably could have been the end of this particular series, but
the end of the PS3,
end of this game series, but thanks to the intervention of Konami, wanted more money. It is Metal Gear Solid 4: Guns of the Patriots.
Yeah,
this is dodgy.
Is that even a game?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can classify it as that, but. There is
technically, I believe it's called a toilet cleaner.
It has been used like that over time, but it's on the list.
If you short a coaster,
yeah. Yeah, I mean, this game has
short a coaster. Why would anyone ever be short a coaster? Oh.
Yeah, there's not the thing about that. Yeah. But yeah, like this game is
it's a fun game.
It's fine. I mean,
it's fan servicey.
It's fan service. It's just like it did kind of exploit how overwritten the previous Metal Gear games was, because everything, like all the Metal Gear games was a law unto itself, and then it came to the point where like, okay, Kojima wants to wrap all this shit up.
So
let's
yeah,
make
he
a game
every
where he wraps all this
yeah,
shit up.
I was about to say at times it gets quite desperate with the attempts to wrap things up.
Yes,
it's a sort of.
Yeah,
you kind of get, when I was watching it, because I wasn't playing it. You didn't play this game.
No.
When I was watching it, you could almost hear the writers in the background with all of the plot threads going fuck.
Especially
that was the soundtrack of the loading screen. The 2-hour installation
that
loading
was a
screen.
fucking good idea. Just watching Snake smoke for a while ago.
Yeah, but that's how he dies. His health depletes as he smokes, John.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's motive, yeah.
Yeah,
but there is some really cool sections in it. The actual gameplay you do get is very, very good.
Yeah.
But it's just not enough of it.
Well, one thing I will say, I really enjoyed the sneaking after the third mission.
Yes,
where you're in Europe. Yeah,
that's
sneaking
great.
After a guy, because that was back to stealth rather than being in the middle of a war zone. Then immediately after that, they ruined it with the vehicle section.
Yes, yeah, and on that point as well, in the secondary in South America, where you're trying to track the frogs, that was a good section as well, because depending on which difficulty you play on, it's harder to track them.
Like really, difficulty makes it harder.
I know, it's weird, crazy, I know, but you have to use different styles. But you have to use different techniques depending on the difficulty. Yeah, so if you're playing on easy, you could just follow the footsteps and that's it. But if you're
and then they turn into handprints, and then they turn into fucking animal tracks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and if it's on like a harder difficulty, I think you have to like listen for them, or you have to like
then they'll ambush you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's fun.
But this gets on the list primarily because the
Shadow
fourth
Moses.
area is Shadow Moses. It's absolutely so well done.
Yeah.
It's so fucking well done. I mean, it's everything about it. You go in. You start off where the Valley of the Good Boys, as I called it. It's where the wolves are initially, and you can still hear them. You can hear them howling and all that. Probably the same wolves.
All the ghosts of the developers, which are in the first game, and they're in the same spots wherever possible.
But like I say, I always put in games that give me like that some sort of like kind of goosebumps or a tingling sensation. In that you're playing.
So your nostalgia for the first game
kind
gets
of
this one onto
a
the
little
list.
bit, yeah.
Just reminds me so much of the first game. It goes on my list.
No, but the way it was, it went full tilt into it because you go through the valley because I think there's some sort of bullshit where it's like the like island is sinking and all this
it's melting.
and you just end up on the helipad and then fucking the best is yet to come kicks in. It's like, oh, this is so fucking well done.
I'm in front of the disposal facility.
Excellent.
How's that sneaking suit working out?
I'm nice and dry, but it's a little hard to move.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Overhead view. Just like home.
Absolutely loving this.
What language is that song sung in?
Funny you should mention that, Adam. I believe it's spoken in Ukrainian. Alaskan.
Ukrainian?
No, Russian. No, it's Irish.
Of course it's Irish, you plebs.
That's a shout out to Loading Ready Run for. I'm still waiting for that pen, by the way.
Did you not get it?
No.
One thing I will say about 4 is it's great because it proved conclusively that Rex, after it had been destroyed
was
and
always
beaten,
better
was
than Ray.
still better
Yeah.
than a brand new Ray.
Brilliant. Rex was always the best.
That is such a fucking fan service moment.
Yeah. I loved that level
it
because it
hurt.
was so hokey.
It hurt. And then it actually made me feel for Raiden.
Yeah.
That was the
That
level.
was
That was the
that
one
was
where I was like,
another
okay,
great
Raiden's a good
accomplishment, yeah.
character.
That was a great accomplishment of the game, was actually get people to like Raiden and just turn into great
Well, let's
folks.
not say like.
Well, tolerate, let's say.
Hate less.
Hate less.
Hate less.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Neil, I believe it's your 68 now.
I'm back to the Mega Drive. The only game of the series that's on my list, because I kind of had to tone it down because if necessary I would have had all of the games on this list because they're unbelievable games. Mine is the latest in the series, back in the Mega Drive. It's Fantastic Dizzy.
Oh,
As in
yes.
Dizzy's
Fantasy
World.
World.
Hey,
yeah.
yes.
I didn't know it went so far as the Mega Drive.
Yeah, it was. I got it. It came in a dual cartridge, a Codemaster Special dual cartridge, and it came bundled with another puzzle game, Cosmic Spacehead, which was basically a funny little, brilliant puzzle game about a kid who's been an alien kid who's been to Earth,
Yeah.
and comes back to his home planet, and nobody believes him. So the whole game is him basically trying to obtain a camera with film and go back to Earth and take a photo of it for proof. That's brilliant.
We have them on Earth.
But it's fantastic. But yeah, Dizzy, out of the games, it's the best one. It captures absolutely everything. It's full 3D. All the little mini games are brilliant. Trying to get all the stars is fucking repulsively difficult. All the mini games are. The difficulty level on the game is so unbelievably difficult. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. It's what every other games. I grew up playing them. It's the reason why I love puzzle games so much. Is the Dizzy series. I would have loved to have had like Magic Land Dizzy on this, but the fairy tale one, we have to do all that shit. But it's just brilliant. Play it. You have to do it all in one sitting because there's no saves.
Of course, as is tradition.
As
is
a classic
tradition.
game, yeah. But I hear if you manage to do it your first try, you become a wizard.
Yeah, you have to battle Zax. No, it's just fantastic. It's fun. It's full of colourful humour, and it's just excellent.
Great stuff.
Just the Dizzy series, can't beat them, and they really should be resurrected right about now.
Great.
Cool.
Excellent. A 67, Adam, if you don't mind.
67 is a familiar one to our channel. It's a free game on the PC. I know I complained a lot while I was playing it, but I actually really enjoy it, and I would go back to it to try and find all the secrets. It's Beneath the Steel Sky.
Yeah. No.
It's the game that's made me call every robot companion since then Joey. So
Yeah, I rate this game a lot as well.
it's really fun, and I'll never get over teleporting Anita.
And Splice. So you just think you're going to bring the trolley with you?
I think I'm going to lie in it.
No.
This is for Anita, right?
No.
No.
She's dead! How many times do I have to tell you?
How many times do I have to tell you? That doesn't matter.
It does matter!
She was exposed to radiation.
You fucking turnips.
You said it as well. Right. So the next thing for you to do is to
Just let's finish this. Tell me where to go.
the reactor.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Oh, her real reactor?
Yeah.
I have to go all the way back up there.
Yes.
If you weren't here, how was I supposed to figure that out?
She said she was exposed to radiation.
Yeah, but that's not a point of, so I should go get exposed to radiation. That's
No.
a point of, I should stay away from the reactor because it killed you.
No, but that was the last place Anita was. So you see where...
So clearly in the reactor there's a teleporter unit that will let me get into one of those cabinets.
No.
So that I don't have to walk all the way back down here to fuck.
What goes through your brain?
The distance I have to walk for the story to progress.
The fucking indignation is hilarious.
Yeah. You get annoyed over the littlest things.
It's the distance of the game. I know it's not even that far. It's 4 screen transitions.
Yes.
But to me...
To you. Yes.
To me it matters, because I have to wait for Joey.
Don't...
Just because she teleports and it kills her by stuffing her in a cupboard with radiation burns.
That's why you don't teleport, kids. That's why you don't
That's
do
why
it.
you don't, but
Never.
the fact that she was able to, and I wasn't. I would have gladly died
That's
that
the
way.
one great injustice of the game, is that she could teleport and not you.
Well, the one great injustice of that game was that Mr. Cool was an android. Spoilers.
To be fair, once you see him, I think it's fairly obvious.
Also, our sequence breaking in the train tracks.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so it's very well coded.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, we got to kick a dog into water.
And that's a sign of a good game. When you can get away with that and not feel bad about
That's
it.
the one with the... Is that the one with the kangaroo court session?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
what a fucking section. I was going to talk
great.
about that myself, but
Yeah.
my god.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a total non sequitur.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
like-
nowhere near the game.
And now it's for something totally different. We're just going to do the mad courtroom section.
And our good friend Lamb with his pussies on parade.
Alright, Lamb.
Alright, lamb.
He'll be on my list very, very
Him and his
soon.
welding robot.
Yeah.
It's great.
Brilliant game, actually. I have to admit.
Remember, kids, pipes, ducts, and conduits are the arteries of this mighty erection.
Yes.
Ah.
Also, you cannot get accurate to within 0.27 decimal
No,
place.
okay. Right.
Physically impossible. It's smaller than light.
Yeah.
So,
I knew something wasn't gelling right with me when I was playing it, and it's only when I sat down to think about it that I had to call these pricks afterwards. Literally called them and went, "That's impossible."
you actually emailed Charles Sesson and said, "Sir, I found an inconsistency."
They defy quantum mechanics.
With pa.
That's how good the pipes are.
That's how good
Quantum
the pipes
Yeah.
They defy me.
Speaking of other kind of like pseudoscience that got Adam angry when we were playing it, my number 67 is Snatcher
Ooh.
for the Sega CD. My only Sega CD game, I believe, because we had played on the channel.
I'll say that's fair. The pseudoscience being pigmentation and skin, right?
Yes. No. Well, this is the kind of like. Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying that Kojima doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to inspiration. This game is literally
Plagiarism.
It's literally Blade Runner and Terminator smashed together. It's pretty much a fanfic, but it's a good fanfic in a way because he kind of like he takes very much with all of his games. Like if it's heavily inspired by something, it'll start off that way and then it kind of breathes a life of its own then towards the end.
It turns into Terminator.
Yeah, exactly, and it's kind of the same case here, except this is very much on the nose. You know.
It's really good. And I will say there are multiple paths in it, which I was surprised to find when we
There's a
played
lot
it.
of depth in it.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
like
surprising amount of depth in it.
My first time playing through it, I was like, okay, how should I answer this? And
Yeah.
I was like a smooth talking fucking private detective dude that all the girls liked.
Yes.
The second time we played through it, I was a sex pest. So more accurate to life.
Yeah.
But even that, like, that was actually a good example about the death, because I was going to mention there's a section where you have to try and find Katrina, who's gone missing because she's been hunted by snatchers.
Katrina.
Yeah.
What age was she again?
19.
13.
19.
She's first.
But the thing is, there's 3 ways to find her. You can go straight to where she is if you played it before, and she goes, "How'd you find me?" And Gideon goes, "I don't know."
I don't know. I just wanted a shower.
The second way is if you, I think you go like as it were the traditional way, and she just calls you.
Yeah, you call the sex line.
Yes, exactly. But the third way is you can go into the plaza and ask a medium.
Oh yeah,
Like an actual
This is
crystal
something
ball
that we
reader.
were trying to do, and then I completely fucked up.
Yes, that's right. And she like reads tarot cards and all this sort of shit. You can go to her at various points in the game, but this time you can help her see. I'm looking for Katrina. Okay, fine. Then we just find out. It's like, wait, you can hack? Yeah, I'm a fucking tarot reader. Come on. it's like it wasn't. It was just the whole pretense was gone straight away, just because you needed to find this girl. But no, it was a great section. The combat in though is terrible.
No, I love it. It's one of the best first-person shooters I've ever played. Bar none.
Yeah, because I think even Kojima recognized.
Don't you take away my fucking skill at this game.
I'm
I've
not
learned how
taking
to
away.
shoot.
I am not taking away, but it's just it was bad. There were very painful sections. in it.
Those 3 times when you took the controller off me, it's not that bad.
And it was that bad because of course we were emulating as well, so there was maybe a bit of slowdown happening. But
No, it was entirely down to the button mapping that we had.
yeah, that's true too.
The fact that I had to hold up and left to get it to go to left.
Yeah,
That was fun.
But and Metal Gear, of course, was good fun as well. I had actually little baby Metal Gear.
Oh,
and this was made.
I was
before,
like, we're playing a different game now.
no. When because this was made just after the first Metal Gear game, before the second one. Because
So Metal Gear 2 was just like a little nod to the universe.
Exactly, but the actual team of terror plays as you see it walk on, and it has a big imposing shadow, and just a little tiny little robot walks on. It was very well done, very well done. Okay, Neil, you're 67 now.
My 67, coming to the Wii. One of 2 reasons why I still have my Wii. The other one's a bit further on in this list. It's pretty much one of the best remakes of a game, an early game series ever. It's the Metroid Prime trilogy.
Ooh, interesting.
Now, I've never played Metroid. Come and punch me if you must, but
I'm
Go
also
on the internet, go get him.
the fucking
I'm the
look
same
in
as
Neil's
well.
eye of just sheer disappointment. He's not angry, he's just disappointed.
Yeah.
This must be how bad children feel.
He expected better from you, Adam.
Yeah, so, I mean, you taking some of the most iconic, unless you're Adam.
I know who
early
Samus is.
One of the earliest Nintendo brilliant games, and you're going to remake them as first-person shooters for the Wii. This really shouldn't have worked, but it did, and it was fucking brilliant. The amount of care and detail and attention to everything that they've done in it is just brilliant, and they're
So these aren't platform games. These are remade as a first-person
As
shooter.
first-person
basically
shooters,
a 2D platformer remade as a first-person shooter
wow.
/ platformer, and it works so unbelievably well. It's crazy. Plus, you get the first 3 all on one disc. This got me through. I lived in Vancouver at one stage, and this got me through a really bad time over there. And I just come home and just play for hours, and it was just fucking brilliant. And I still have my Wii purely because of it.
Yeah.
It's fucking
On
brilliant.
that note, fuck you, Vancouver.
Not because of
How
it.
do you feel? How do you make Vancouver feel, or Neil feel bad?
It's brilliant. It's just a fantastic game. And Jesus, this is how you remake it. When you play it,
Okay,
you go, this is how you remake shit.
I will play this.
Yeah.
I will play it.
You'll definitely play the second Wii game that I've got on it.
Oh, it's on the Wii. Nah.
I moved.
But yeah, go for it. It's brilliant.
You're 66, Adam.
What?
Yeah, you're 66.
Did you develop a lisp in the past?
Yeah, I've been preparing it for a while actually.
Okay, we're moving on to PlayStation 2. This is not a good game by any standards. It's
here we go.
it's a fighting game. It's a licensed fighting game. It's Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2.
I can smell the dislikes.
Why?
I don't know.
It's a fun little fighting game. It's just every Dragon Ball Z game's the same. I had to pick one.
Okay, fair.
Budokai 2 is just fun because like it has all the fusions, the gimmicky shit. You play through the entire Raditz saga, the entire Saiyan saga,
Yeah.
the Frieza saga. And then you get up to does it go to Buu? I think it goes through the Buu saga. Yeah, so you can play through the entire Dragon Ball Z sagas
Alright.
in this one. And you like unlock tournament mode where you can win by ring out, which is really fun for a fighting game. It's all 3D. You unlock all the Super Saiyans, all the shit like that, transformations.
Yeah.
Transforming is like the biggest detriment you can do to yourself.
Really?
Because it takes like 10 seconds of power up, which, nothing's stun locked long enough to power up.
Yeah.
So when I was playing with my brother, we'd always go, okay, let's go full Super Saiyan 3, both of us, and then fight. And it seems to do nothing but change up your attack pattern.
Yeah, you have to kind of orchestrate the fight to make
It's
it cool.
fun, but it also included fusions and some like really fun
Yeah.
little fan fusions like Tien and Yamcha, who become Tiencha, who is just so shit.
It sounds bad.
And Hercules Satan fuses with Goku to become GoKuel, who is the strongest character in the game. Just all these little comedy
That's
things.
weird.
And Majin Buu eats Cell and Frieza, and you get different transformations for him.
Okay.
So it's pretty fun. It's pretty like weird because they'll just pull Cell and Frieza out as like little fighters. So you move along a grid.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're playing a board game to pick up power-ups and Dragon Balls and whatever else. And then when your characters overlap with each other, when you're taking turns, you start the fight.
Alright.
And then if you lose, you die. You're basically, I'm shit out of luck. I've just lost Trunks and I wanted him to fuse with Goten. So now Goten's fighting alone and I don't get Goten, so we're fucked.
Right.
That sort of a thing. But then you can win with any fighter because it's a fighting game.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. And I would recommend looking into the Budokai series if you're a fan of Dragon Ball.
Interesting. Very good. So my number 66 then actually makes sense if I put another 6 in it because it's quite an evil game. It's Sanitarium.
Very nice.
Okay.
Sanitarium. One of Neil's, I think Neil recommended it to me, I think,
Yep.
or I might have found it myself, I can't recall.
Yes, but how do you get past the Scarecrow?
No, that's. I was about to say, it's a really well contained game.
Yeah.
Like out of all the games I've played, like there's very few games I could say that I have absolutely no overarching questions about. Like everything is explained adequately, everything makes sense, because the reason I say
I
that
think
is
we might have
because
played different games here.
no.
It is. You're kind of you're in the dark for a lot of it, and
Yes, I
it
was about
does
to
get
say.
wrapped up quite neatly. It's
Yeah.
well
Yeah.
written.
Because I was going to say, because you start off the game with so many questions. You get like a little bit of a cutscene. You know that you have a general idea of what's going on, but everything just seems off.
Are you a mental patient or a doctor?
Because that's the thing. Like you see, you think that okay, you just gone into this weird fucked up place, but it's too fucked up. And then the second level,
A little too fucked
Yeah.
up.
No, because
so it's like,
'cause literally-
something's off here.
Because literally, once you escape from the sanitarium, you literally go into this like 50s-esque town, and there's all these kind of kids that are talking about this weird
kids.
mother thing, and it's just like there's so much imagery and so much metaphors and stuff like that. It's like there's clearly more to it, and then each level gets even more and more incongruous. Okay, and then you start clicking, okay, maybe this guy is not quite as real as we think.
Exactly. It's like you're playing through a Hieronymus Bosch fucking
Kind of,
painting
yeah,
on
yeah.
one stage.
There's a lot of that.
What the fuck?
And by the second last level, everything starts to wrap up, and all the imagery starts to make sense, because you're thinking like, well, why was this here in the first place, like in the foreground for you to see? And oh, that's what it was. It's a plot device.
One thing I will say is this is not a fun game, but it's
No.
a very enjoyable.
It's very dark. It's very horror oriented. It's quite gruesome.
It's
in a way.
engaging.
Yeah, it's engaging, exactly. And I feel like it's very much that kind of like, I don't want to say it's a precursor to a lot of the kind of like the what I call the YouTube fodder horror games, but those kind of horror games where there is a plot happening in the background and you see little sections of it, little tidbits, and then once you get to the end, it all makes sense. You know, it takes kind of elements of like, I wouldn't say Japanese horror as such, but there's little elements of it, but a lot of it is just like, this would do as a good movie, for example, because you are thrust into the position, and as the plot unfolds, you know, it's quite cinematic in a way it's done. But it's a very good, well-contained game, and you'll probably play it in a couple of hours, and you'll be fairly satisfied with it, really.
Yeah.
You know,
Very.
everything in the end, all of it makes sense.
Satisfied.
Mr. Parker.
Excellent game. Very excellent game.
Yes.
So, Neil.
So
number
mine,
65.
I'm going for the polar opposite.
66.
I'm going back to the Mega Drive for a game tonally that is the polar opposite of Sanitarium. So
You have no mouth and you must scream.
Careful.
tonally opposite. No, that's much further up my list. Fun game, very funny. We'll all love this one. It's Earthworm Jim.
Great
very
choice.
Good. Very
Great
good.
choice. Fucking such a hard game when you're a kid.
Repulsively
Hard game
difficult.
now, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking tough.
Yeah.
It's
great.
It was a coin toss between this and the second one. The 3D one can go eat a dick. It's terrible. But yeah, no, fucking loved it. Bought the game purely because I'm such a huge fan of the cartoon series, which I love, which I would still watch now.
Speaking of, I was surprised that the goldfish wasn't a bigger antagonist in the game.
Yeah, wasn't it like Miss Slugford, but wasn't it the main nemesis of the game? Can't remember.
Yeah, it was Queen Slug for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah.
You have to rescue Princess. What's her name?
Yes, that's right. I remember.
So that's it. It's just fucking brilliant. Everything about it. It's got all the characters in it. They're all so goofy, fun, and
Fun jokes.
Any
Launch
game
the cow.
that any game that the callback. It's just one of the best joke callbacks in comedic history.
Yeah, it is.
And it's great. It's just heapings of ultra violence and hilarity.
I love launching cows in that game because I don't know. It could have been just a virgin I had, but the cows.
The virgin you had.
The version I had.
Maybe keep Frisians out of phrase with it's just the virgin I had, you know.
When you listen to the fact that you actually go, oh shit, I did say that.
Yeah, probably did. But with the version I had,
I wasn't letting you get away with that.
No, but that's fair. But whatever reason, like the cows before you launch them has two different moo sound effects. One that actually sounds like a cow, and it's just some guy just going moo. And like really suspicious moo. It's like this cow is fucking up to something. And I said, right, launch
cow
that
with
shit.
the shifty eyes.
Shifty fucking
Dun 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 dun.
No, just a brilliant fucking game.
Yeah.
Hilarious, fun, really well put together as well. It was actually, I remember it being remarkably, the artwork in it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like you're playing a kind of a really good cartoon. Yeah, it's just pure genius. The fucking, what was it? Evil the cat, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, on the planet Heck.
Yes, the planet.
Yes, the planet Heck. That entire level is just brilliant. The boss fight in where you're just dodging like him coughing up 4 balls.
Yes.
What was the puppy character that you had? Like your
Yeah,
Peter?
yeah.
Pete. Yeah,
Pete, yeah.
and if you like harmed him, then you go fucking nuts.
Yeah, he just hulked out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
That was great.
Excellent, fantastic. Just go play it.
Go play it.
Yeah.
Adam, 65.
Okay, since everyone else has seemed to doing like great and fantastic games in their lists,
I'll tell you at this point, get it on it.
no, I've progressively booked that trend.
35 games in, I am not backing down.
No, I'm gonna stick with this. It's a PlayStation 1 game. Disney's A Bug's Life.
Jesus Christ. Fucking what?
Great game.
No.
In my opinion.
No. Disaster.
Fun
No.
platformer. You pick up berries, you throw them at enemies, you get the gold berry to perma-kill all the enemies. 100%ing that game is a chore. It's so good.
This is why people get their opinions and free speech taken away from them.
I'm with you on this one. I'm with you. No, that game
you
is...
guys have played it and didn't like
Yeah,
it?
I hated it.
I'm
hated
endorsing fascism.
I
as a
hated
result
it.
of
Wow.
putting this.
I thought it looked ugly for the time. I thought
No, it's not a pretty game,
No.
but it's very tight.
criminally short.
Criminally?
Yeah. Just like this, well, obviously it's a tie-in game, so of course it's going to be short. But
I
even
assume
for
you
tie-in
weren't
games-
going for 100%.
Of course I wasn't going for 100%. I could barely play the fucking thing.
Well, that's more your problem. Get good, scrub.
The third level was absolute.
That's a you problem.
The third level was awful.
Get good,
You had
grubs.
fucking wasps and raindrops to dodge. You couldn't even.
Oh, that
you
was
couldn't
so
even
good.
fucking blink.
I
If
loved-
you blinked, you died. In
No,
the
I
fucking game.
love the dandelion surfing across the chasm
That was
and
a
the
bit
bird
of crack, yeah.
catching you.
That was still hard to do though. It's hard to pull
but,
off.
Like when you're 5 years old playing this game, it's great.
I beg to disagree. I'm sorry. No.
Wow.
Fucking no.
There's our first controversial opinion, folks. Let's see if Jonathan can fix the tone.
Yes, I will. My number 65 is Spyro the Dragon Reignited.
Oh no, I don't like it.
Spyro, very long.
Yes.
list. That's
Reignited.
quite
So which one?
No, the whole game.
The whole
Reignited.
trilogy.
Yeah.
long. A remake.
The remake, yeah.
trilogy.
Yeah, no, I like it because it looks so. It's well, first of all, it's a bitch to download because I had a serious fucking bad idea
we do
of
things-
downloading it.
Yeah, we've these things called discs.
Yes, no, you see,
It happens
It didn't
almost
matter.
immediately.
it didn't matter because
It's like it's right there.
yeah, no, it didn't matter because you cunts. It didn't
So
matter
mean.
because the disc only has the first game on it. You still have to download the other two.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can play the first one while waiting for the other two.
I know.
Why didn't you?
I don't want to play the second one.
No,
The second was the only good one. Riptoast looks like Spyro in Japanese.
that's a terrible impression of me. But anyway.
That's what you said. Like,
It's the most sense you've made in years.
Yeah, that's fair. Actually. But no, it's just a really pleasant looking game.
I
Just the
haven't played
are,
the Reignited, but I love the original.
graphics are exceptional. They're just so exceptional. Like it's like when you actually just like toast somebody or something, the grass is singed around you.
Right, and is
You
Fiona
know.
still hot?
No, they redesigned her and everything.
Oh,
well done, Adam. First thing they do is when they remake a game, Adam's like, yeah, but can I fuck it?
Can they fuck it?
That's the first question you ask about everything.
Everything, yeah. That's
When a Jew in New York invented the bagel, he improved it by going, can I fuck it? Yes, I can. There's
Yes,
a hole
I
in the
can
middle
fuck
now.
That's probably liable to somebody.
It's liable to all Jews.
Yeah, but to be fair, like it even controls very similar to the original as well. Like with the Crash,
I've heard
remake.
the opposite of that.
Well,
I've
I
heard
was
that
about
the changing of the fixed camera has made it a lot more accessible.
Yes, I'd say that it's made the game easier to play, whereas with the Crash one, it's kind of made it harder to play. So it's just kind of it's a slightly different approach for maybe a slightly different audience as well.
So there you go, play Crash Bandicoot if you like.
I thought the difficulty in the Crash one was because like the hitboxes now are like down to
They're dead on. Yeah.
microns.
Yes.
They're pill shaped rather than square.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
that's why like every time like people who were used to kind of hitting that dead air
Yes.
from a ledge without just going boom.
the
That's why Rachel's so
coyote
fucking
The coyote time, yeah.
Yeah, that's why Rachel's so fucking bad. Like, that's why she was, that's
why
the
Rachel's
biggest
so
thing.
bad.
She was like,
That's why.
she was screaming at the fucking thing, going, "No, I made that
I know.
jump." I would have made that
Yeah.
jump with the PS1 because the hitbox is square.
You would though. It's like
Yeah.
there are speedrunners that are like,
Yeah.
look, guys, I'm not actually this bad. Look, and
Yeah.
you'd put on the original game and fucking
Yeah.
fly through it.
Like I said, and I suppose with Spyro is that like it came out a good few years after Crash. So
made speedrunners justified themselves. I'm not actually this bad. Please watch this.
like, share, subscribe.
But we're not even talking about Spyro.
I'm trying to get back to fucking Spyro. Anyway.
Yeah, but like that, like
They are intertwined.
It was
Yes.
it was a sequence of where like it's a brilliant remake. Like
Yeah,
where they
yeah.
really took a lot of care and proper effort.
Now, I
into
will
making
say
it
that
graphically
because-
fucking incredible.
Yeah, like it's the same approach. It's the sort of like warts and all approach to making the remake. So if a level was hard, it's still going to be hard.
Yeah.
But in Spyro, you see, for some reason, the mini games, some mini games are fucking impossible to do. I remember there's like a mine cart level in Ripto's Rage, and it's just a mini game where you can collect a whole lot of fucking gems and get something. But it took me like 2 or 3 hours to do because the actual cart was so hard to maneuver.
This
Yeah.
is in the lava world
Yes.
towards the end with the pelicans.
Yeah. Impossible to do.
That was
first time.
impossible in the first one.
Yeah, but it's just so hard
It's
because.
just like the Cortex fucking games.
Yeah, that's true too. But no, it's a fantastic remake. It's quite mellow as well. Like it's just more relaxed. It's not as stressful as
Did it
Crash
keep all
games.
the extras where you can change Spyro's color with
Yeah,
cheat codes?
all the
that
cheats are
sort of
still there,
stuff?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I like that. I like faithful
Yeah.
remakes.
No, it's a good remake. It's a good remake. I'm actually just glad that this is the approach that people are taking for the remakes because that's the exact way of doing it.
Yeah, I think Vicarious Visions actually did a really good job when they showed
Crash,
the
yeah.
Crash, and if like you leave in all the shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because that's what people
leave
are paying
in,
for.
leave in all the
Yeah,
cheating.
it's like Jonathan. I don't know if you've mentioned this already. Did we have Crash before?
Yes, and I had Crash 2.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
So we've mentioned it.
Yeah, we have
I'll
mentioned
leave
it,
it.
yeah.
I'll leave it.
Grand. 65 nil.
Oh, the last of the past, baby. I'm going Mega Drive.
Nope.
Back to the Mega Drive. A game that I am fucking. It's actually quite unlike any other game because I usually dislike this style of game.
This is a shining endorsement.
Yes.
Here we go.
It's it's Super Highlight 2.
Right.
I don't know this.
Exactly. It's one of the very first. It was actually the first JRPG I ever played.
Okay.
And oh my god, it was a Dark Souls squared, cubed level of difficulty.
So pretty easy.
Everything about this game should not have existed. It was brilliant. Now it's called Super Highlight 2. But
You keep saying words, but all I'm hearing is la two.
Super Highlight 2.
Super
It was-
high glide.
Highlight. Here, look, watch out.
Oh yeah, Highlight. Yes.
Highlight.
High glide.
Highlight. Yeah.
Super Highlight
Okay.
2. I don't know what a highlight is. I've never even found out.
But presumably it's super.
Yes, this one is brilliant. It's
Super
basically
Highlight
just
Junior.
a generic JRPG. You're living on the land. Now suddenly there's monsters everywhere. You have to go kill them.
So
Everything about this game, it should not have existed. The first Super Highlight was widely considered to be one of the worst games ever made.
fuck's sake.
It contains so much ridiculously, pointlessly hard stuff. Everything's got weight in it, even the money. Right?
Jesus.
No, I like that.
Right.
I've always wanted that in games.
Absolutely everything has. So if you had large amounts of cash, that actually took up a lot of weight in your inventory. So you had to go to banks and you could either deposit in a bank,
That's good
but you
though,
couldn't
yeah,
use it
yeah.
and it would gain interest. or you would have the bank change it up to the higher denomination so you could carry the same amount of money with a similar amount of weight.
I don't want to
clever.
be banking during my gaming.
Exactly.
It's like I play gaming to
Yeah.
avoid going to the bank.
Properly realistic day-night cycles. Your character got hungry and starved to death. Your character
Jesus.
got sleepy and fucking just dropped out.
This is just a life sim.
Progressive encumbrance. Your weight limit wasn't the point at which your weight limit was the point at which your character stopped moving.
Right.
But as you got towards that, you got slower.
Yeah, it makes sense though. That does make sense.
It's not like in say Fallout, where it's like if your weight limit is £100, like you're sprinting until you get to 100.5.
You just eat
and
a few
that's suddenly
turnips
boom.
and you can move
That's
again.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, because eating something gets the weight out of
Again,
your
gets the weight out of it,
inventory.
yeah. That's how
You're no
that's how
longer
it works.
carrying it.
Yeah, that's how it works, man.
And that's it.
Wow.
Everything about it. Midway through the game, it features a hard left turn at the mad sci-fi where you're battling aliens on a spaceship. How you get from dungeon crawling monsters to fighting on lasers on a spaceship.
What?
It's brilliant. The full title of the game is Super Highlight 2: The Memories of Space.
Wait,
I know.
Are you
yeah.
a half alien?
I don't know. I've never fully understood the game. I've gone back and replayed it because I got my Mega Drive again, and it's just crazy. But everything about it, it's Dark Souls before Dark Souls, but it's so Dark Soulsy that you wouldn't even do half the shit in this
I'm
game.
confused, and I love it.
Yeah, it's one of those mercurially not perfect. Like there's a lot of flaws with it, but it was just such a fucking unique, challenging game, and I remember playing it going, "This is."
It sounds very engaging because there is a lot of stuff that you have to manage. You have to plan stuff out. Like it's so much strategic.
Either of you
in a
get
way.
your Mega Drive, I'll give it to you to play, and you'll just wallow in it.
Okay.
It's just a crazy fucking game, and it's a game that should not have existed.
I'll give that one to Neil. I think he's winning this round.
I didn't realise we were playing this. Okay.
Super Highlight 2, and also that is going to be one fucking hilarious search for you.
you have to find not only the banking sections but also changing denomination. Just film yourself going to the bank. And
Just film 2 20s and a 10 and a 50 coming the other way. There you go. That's what this game is.
I'll splice in an ad for the credit union. That'll do. Adam, you're 64, please. Bonus points if you have something from the Nintendo 64.
Oh shit! I didn't
Oh
realise that.
fuck! I never even thought of that.
No. We're actually coming to the end of my purposefully bad games here.
Jesus Christ.
I've got like maybe this last 10. This 10 is the
Right,
best.
so I can start drinking now. Then
Yeah.
It can't get worse than Bugs Life.
This one here, I've mentioned earlier that I play YuGiOh. This is PlayStation 1's YuGiOh Forbidden Memories.
Okay. I heard it's very good.
It's really good. It's no way follows the rules of YuGiOh.
Every time I've played a Yu-Gi-Oh game,
a lot of the newer ones follow them, or they'll follow the anime with some rules mixed in.
Yeah, the anime definitely doesn't follow the rules. What are you doing?
This game makes no fucking sense whatsoever. It's like you combine cards by just throwing them against each other, and the quickest way to win is to get Thunder Monster, Dragon Monster, and then either another Thunder or Dragon Monster, which will make the twin-headed Thunder Dragon 2,800 attack points. And it just beat sticks everything up to the last boss, who you then farm to try and get Blue Eyes and Gate Guardians and shit like that. It's so balls to the walls hard because it's just so random how this shit happens. And your starting deck is randomized, so you might not even get the dragon deck. Or you might get a dark hole and be like, fuck, all I've got are these pixie shits. Okay, we'll try it with the magical sand. Okay, fuck, we've unlocked Kaiba, let's farm the Blue Eyes. 1 in like 1,000 chance of getting a Blue Eyes from beating him.
Jesus.
It's impossible. And even if you have the codes and the cards, they cost so many star chips. You get 5 star chips for a flawlessly executed win.
Yeah.
It takes like 100,000 chips to buy a card.
Jesus.
It is so broken that it is almost impossible to play without exploiting the thing I just mentioned. So there you go, kids, play that. But with that, it's really fun.
The look on your face does not convince me one way or the other.
It's really fun. It's got its own side story. You play through you're the Pharaoh playing through the past with Taya and Joey. They're pre-incarnations.
Joey to every fucking game. I was like, no, he's a gimp.
Joey is the number 3 rated duelist in the world, Neil.
Really? I thought he sucked.
He really does. He relies on luck.
Oh dear.
That's it though. It's fun. Then you play through modern day. So the bad guy, you have to lose to him. Even if you beat him, he'll just keep playing you until you lose to him.
Yeah.
So that's how bad of a fucking asshole he is. You'll smash the puzzle. Yugi puts it together in the future. You kind of play through you assume the story happened up to that point in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
You play through a tournament getting all the Millennium items. You go back in time, then you have to kill the original owners of them. And I say kill, I mean fucking murder the original owners of the Millennium items.
Just like straight up murk those fuckers.
Yes, and they each have weird field conditions where it'll power up mountain, powers up dragons, and something else I can't remember. I was only dragon. Water powers up thunder. So those are the two that I would farm from because my strat worked. It's fun. It's fun. Go play. There's a sequel out too. I hear it's a lot more balanced.
So don't play that then.
Don't play that then.
Don't play that. No, it has a lot of the newer cards in it as well.
So don't play that.
Don't play that.
Don't play that.
Don't play that. No, it's fun. It's fun. I enjoyed it.
Very
I think.
good.
I think.
Very good.
That's good because of the generic nature of all Yu-Gi-Oh games. Jonathan can just splice in footage from any of them.
Actually,
Nobody will know the fucking difference.
Jonathan's literally going to just put in live action of someone playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
And then somebody just sweeping all the cards off the table.
Just tilting, yeah.
Just put in the anime.
Yeah. Yes, and get copyright strike. That's a great idea. So my number 64, I would probably consider it probably the best platformer no one's ever heard of.
Oh.
This is Jazz Jackrabbit 2.
I've heard of this.
I heard of it, not played it.
Yes, it is. It's weird because it's a platformer for the PC.
Is he any relation to Bubsy the Bobcat?
No, not at all.
That was 64, wasn't it? Yeah, that was good.
So funny enough, this is the mascot game for Epic at the time. This is Cliff Bleszinski's first ever game, or second game, I should say.
Second, not his first.
Not first, because obviously there's a Jazz Jackrabbit 1, but he didn't just start at 2. But it's a very.
I would, to be fair.
Yeah,
but it's a very quirky game. A lot of great.
The second one's always the best.
Yeah.
So just start there.
Well, it was a revision of the first one with like new ideas, like a better soundtrack and all that sort of stuff. But very wide open levels. You know, it's designed to play fast, much like Sonic in a way. Like you obviously get reward for exploring and stuff like that, but you don't like get you don't get the same rush as you would with Sonic, but you still get the same kind of rewards. You still run around, you have to eat food, and the food is all different for each level. And the kind of bonus is called the Sugar Rush, where the soundtrack just changes up and you just become invincible for a while. It's called the Sugar Rush. It's very kind of funny. But you have guns, they have different ammos, different specials on it, stuff like that. But for me, the reason this is on the list, it's probably one of the best soundtracks to a game I've ever
I
heard.
heard the soundtrack on it's fucking awesome.
It's incredible.
so proud of it. Like,
Yeah.
there's always Easter eggs. There's always Jackrabbit Easter eggs in
Yeah.
every Blazinski game since then.
Yeah.
There's loads of them.
He loves it. He absolutely loves it. But the music is made by Alexander Brandon, who has done music for basically like most BioWare games. Like the Mass Effect score is his work. And this is like probably one of his first ever stuff. He does his own music now, of course, but no, some of the tracks are brilliant, and it makes the levels feel different. Like the Tube Electric level, for example, is this kind of pinball level, but the music makes it work so much better because it's so fast and so jingly, and you're smashing off these fucking pinball machines. It's just fantastic. It really, really is. I recommend you get it for free. I think because it's abandonware.
I'm back. What I miss?
You'll hear it back in the edit.
John's talking about rabbits and shit.
I like rabbits. Please repeat everything.
I forgot as well. It comes with a level editor. You can make your own levels in it.
So like Mario Maker.
Yes.
Nice.
And in I think there's a version called the Lost Files that comes with a third character as well. I think it's a Lola. I think her name is.
Cool.
So you get 3 characters. I should have specified you get to play as 2 rabbits, Jazz and Spaz. But so yeah, that's it then.
1 second.
Neil, number 64.
Man number 64. I am off to the PC.
Nice. Always a good sign.
The best of the game in the series. Really should continue on more of this. Hopefully there will be. It's Gabriel Knight 3.
Ah.
Yeah.
Blood and
Very
Sacred,
good.
Blood of the Damned.
Very
Nice.
good, very good.
Now
very good.
I've only played Sins of the Fathers.
Nah. 3 is the best of the series by a fucking country mile. Kind of, it's a real proven of. Sorry, mean no words. Good day. I've not had enough rum.
Yeah.
He's literally had 1 sip and suddenly he can't speak.
Thanks, Kraken.
Give us free stuff. It's
Well, we've already tried to get sponsored by Monster, Coke,
yeah,
and now
exactly.
Kraken.
Yeah. It's proof pudding that a great story, something well written, will carry you through, regardless of how poor your game is.
Yeah,
no, honestly.
Yeah, no.
If you look at
I
the-
understand,
if
but
you look
that
at
was
this game
such a
as a-
backhanded compliment.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a. If you look at this game as a piece of programming or a level design, it's a disaster. It's terribly put together, purely because they did it. They were doing it 2D. They were going to do it as the same way they did the first one.
Yes.
Up until midway through the development cycle, when they suddenly decided, oh, let's go 3D.
That was a bad choice.
Shunted in this 3D engine, which none of the programmers even knew how to use.
Yeah.
So they were just shoehorning crap in.
That's bad. It's a bad choice.
Oh, awful. Doesn't really look very well. Doesn't look good nowadays. The polygons will catch your eyeballs. Jaggy fucking game.
Jesus.
But my god, the writing and the storyline in it is perfect. It's fucking brilliant.
Do you want to give us a bit of synopsis?
Essentially, it's,
It makes sense if you played the first 2 games because he's
Sort
gone
of.
full Demon
he's gone full into the Schattenjäger, the
Yes.
Shadow Hunter thing. But basically, the game is based around vampires and holy blood. Weirdly enough, I first started playing this game when the Templars and the Holy Grail stuff started really getting into kind of the conspiracy theory thing.
Yeah.
If you've ever read Holy Blood and the Holy Cross, or Holy Blood and the the book's mentioned in it. It's actually a real book you can physically read.
Physically read as opposed
Physically
to...
read. Physically read. No, it's just fantastic, and it's basically you have to track down a kidnapped baby. Then Jesus comes into it. The descendants of Jesus get worked into it. Tim Curry doing a southern accent. They still.
Oh, is he still voice acting at this point?
Yes, yeah, no, he does it. They got him back in for 3. They got Leia Remini in back in as Grace Nakamura.
Excellent.
Who else is? It's not the all-star cast that you got in the first.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 'Cause-
I don't even think they've got Mark Hamill back as Mosley.
No,
I think
that's
they got
the thing.
somebody else
Yeah, because I
in.
know they changed voice actors in the second game.
Yeah. Oh well, they changed actors. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's
It's F&B. Yeah,
the second-
shit.
Yeah, the beast within. But that's also another proving that
Yeah.
if you've got a great storyline, it'll carry a game through, regardless of how badly.
It's
put
just
together
Jane
it is.
Jensen. She's just
Regardless of how
fantastic
shit your
writer.
actors are.
Yeah.
Jane Jensen's just fantastic.
Yeah.
No,
She-
it's
they're
the
big
best.
games in spite of Sierra.
Yeah, it's the best of the 3 of them. It's the best of the 3 of them. I'm really, really desperately.
I want
Really,
that.
really
sorry,
desperate.
I want that written on a T-shirt. Good in spite of Sierra.
To be honest with you, a lot of Sierra's back catalogue comes with that tagline.
Yeah.
This is a good game, despite the publishers.
We know. We know from experience.
So yeah, no, it's just fantastically, perfectly, brilliantly well written game.
Yeah.
And just get into it. It's fantastic.
Cool. So I'll play the second one and then catch up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do actually. Yeah,
And
sure.
everybody should play all three.
Yeah,
But
I
when
mean,
you get
if you like your adventure games, you owe it to yourself to play Game of Thrones, and I say that because I left it on the backhand for so long.
Alternatively, watch Monday Madness as they tackle.
Well, yeah, actually,
Yeah,
by the
watch
time
us ruin it.
Yeah, because by the time we'll be playing
Wait, it's
Sins
going
of
to
the
be a
Fathers.
let-through?
By the time this comes out, we should have played Sins of the Fathers actually on the channel. So yeah, excellent. Adam, 63.
63. Oh god, this is taking forever.
I know.
Oh God.
This is one more of the novelty ones, I think. The last one, depending on what your taste in my next one is. The Simpsons Wrestling on PlayStation 1.
Oh my fucking God.
That was a abomination.
Do not play wrestling because it's so bad. It's made my list.
No.
This is so left field.
This is a weird game where you pick up power-ups. Barney is OP. Just that burp power-up that stuns and you're caught in the middle of it and can't move. Yeah. It's great. Bumblebee Man was my favourite character. He was just so strong, bouncing off the ropes. I don't even know what you said. Now I want you to clean my kitchen. It's a fun game. Just because you're able, any game where you can permanently bounce on your opponent's head with your feet just being flat angles and spin around.
It's so hard to play. Like
it's meant to be though. Like you build up the moves you're allowed to use. So you always have punch.
Oh yeah, no,
but then
I
you
get
build
that, yeah.
up to like kick. Then you build up to special, which are all mapped to different buttons. It's weird and how fun it is.
Jonathan's putting in like Fire Pro wrestling games, proper hardcore, excellent wrestling.
Pure
games.
wrestling.
But
Pure wrestling.
But can you pick up a taunt prompt?
Yes.
Oh,
actually, no. I'm fucking with you.
I was going to say you probably could.
Yes.
This is
You
Fire
can't.
Pro.
You don't taunt in Japanese wrestling, you fiend.
yeah, but is Anarchy in it?
No.
Can you play as Bumblebee Man? Maybe if I
You can make him. Yeah, you can make him. Yeah, you can make him.
Well, you can play as Fred Durst. So
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. In Just Bring It, you have to. If you beat.
So yeah, just so you know,
yes.
my choice here was either Just Bring It or The
Yeah.
Simpsons Wrestling. I thought The Simpsons Wrestling edged it out just so slightly
What I will say about The Simpsons
By
Wrestling,
being more or slightly less shit than
by
Just
having
Bring It.
better mechanics.
I will accept that. I will accept that.
I don't play wrestling games.
Just Bring It was
As evidence.
That's evidence here.
Just Bring It was an experiment.
This one,
I'm getting more Rob, I don't care.
Yeah.
I found it fun. So fuck you guys. I'm purposefully putting in bad games here that I enjoy, just because I know that this is how it works.
Yeah.
Well-
By the way, this is our top 100 personal, not what we consider to be the best.
No, I do not think any of the games up to this point have been good.
And
They're
maybe
just
half of them
enjoyable.
afterwards.
They're just enjoyable, and I personally found great enjoyment from it.
No, I'm good. I'm kosher today.
Jesus.
My 63 is a racing game. Probably, I think the most recent one I have on my list as well, and for good reason. It is F1 2018.
Woo!
So Codemasters has kind
What
of
year did that come out?
2017. No,
You're not even lying. I hate
no.
that.
So some
I hate that convention.
no, some franchises do that. FIFA 19, FIFA's a cunt for that. Like FIFA 19 comes out in 18.
Yeah.
Madden and all that. But Codemasters at least has their years right, which is good. But Codemasters has done. But the Codemasters has done the F1 series for the last couple of years, and because of it's a serialized franchise, it's very hard to kind of like upgrade it or improve on it with each iteration. But this is why I have this one on the list, because it is the best one they've done, because they keep adding content on each year. So they have obviously the most current teams, but all the mechanics now, because they're on the PS4, they can start.
They'll get the new Alfa Romeo team in there, yeah.
Yeah, they could do, next year. But especially like they had classic content last year, and that stays on. But they've added more cars to it. Like they've had like more like kind of like fan favorites, let's say. And I think they're doing the same thing next year.
Classic content was like they got Muddy Walker back in or for something like that.
No, I was.
Muddy Walker.
It would have been nice if they can get an impersonator for him. But
Yeah,
it'd
no,
be
Wait,
nice.
so this is a first-person shooter, right?
Sure, let's go. But no, this would get on because the actual mechanics of the game are so good.
Oh,
Because
similar to Carmageddon?
no, not at all. You have to manage your tires, your fuel.
Okay, this actually sounds fun.
Yeah, over a season.
They've gone proper sim.
Yes,
haven't
proper
they?
sim, and there's actually RPG elements to it, because when you're playing through a season, you see, you have to drive quite sensibly, because if you burn out an engine part, you only have 3 or 4 of them to go over a season, and it's 21 races.
If you destroy your $1 million engine, you only have 3 more.
Yeah, but you see, you get penalties then after that,
Yeah.
and that affects your performance as well. And
the new rules, they're all
that's all enforced.
Yeah.
That's all enforced. You have an R&D system as well. So if your car is struggling with speed, for example, get new engine parts, or if you're struggling with reliability, do that.
Yeah. I always actually hilarious with the new F1 rules that having played them in the new F1 games.
Yes.
I was like, all right, the new rules have kind of made actual real life F1 more boring.
Yeah.
But they make the games more challenging.
Yes.
So it's kind of, is that the point? Is that why they changed the
Yeah.
sport in real life?
That's
so
why
that
why
Formula
there's
1 games would come out.
That's why there's a big
more challenging.
But that's why there's a big push for esports, because like the mechanics are so good in this game. It's a proper esport, and actual racing teams are sponsoring drivers.
Yeah. Soon they won't actually need to develop better cars. They'll just need to develop the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, and they'll drive off that. Like that'll be the future. The other thing as well is they've always had a fantastic dynamic time and weather, and this needs to be acknowledged. Like out of all the racing games I've played, they've tried to introduce a weather system.
Is that the one you were telling me that you can do any weather system in any other
No,
track?
that's Project Cars.
Oh, is that Project Cars?
Yes,
Yeah,
where you can like drive an F1 car
can
in
you,
the
like-
snow in London.
F1 in the snow.
Yeah.
What?
Well,
That would
like
just
that's
not work.
always going to end badly.
Back to Formula 1. Can
Yes.
you be blinded by like sun glare?
Spray, yeah.
And then
If you
crash?
do VR, yeah, you can. The actual time, the actual everything is sensible, but the
So it's
weather is
VR.
yeah.
Fuck, this
Yeah,
sounds fun actually.
You can do it with VR and PC, and I think you can do it with Project Cars as well. But with weather as well, if you on a very long track like Spa, for example, that goes on for like 4 or 5 miles and it's through the forest, it can be raining at one section of the track but not at the other. So you can see the clouds coming in and you can see the spray, you can see all this stuff, but you're thinking, fuck, is it going to rain more or more? What am I going to do? I'm going to stick or twist.
Fuck, is it gonna rain? Do I
Yeah.
put the hood up?
But and that happens kind of like organically. It's not as if, well, unfortunately, the weather is a bit predictable in it. When you can see the schedule, you can kind of plan your move. Like if I was designing it, I wouldn't do that at all. But
One of the big questions is: are the flag girls banned in this?
yes,
Oh man, really?
yeah, they do. Actually, no, I'm wrong. They still have the flag girls in it, but they'll be gone next year.
Life imitating art, I suppose.
I know, it's terrible. But yeah, no, it's great. It's you have the career mode, and you also have like these kind of challenges as well, where you'll have like a different championship where you could be driving classic cars or whatever it is, or different other sort of challenges. It just jazzes things up a bit because you can go, okay, I'll just drive Michael Schumacher's Ferrari, and that handles like a mentalist.
Jesus, I wouldn't want to touch it after what happened to him.
And like you have Senna's McLaren and all this sort of stuff.
The elves there.
There's a lot of content in it, and that's what I like.
Shoemaker elves, for fuck's sake.
Neil, 63.
63, old school PC game, one of the first real-time strategy games that I ever played. Got into this off the back, another game that I got into purely off the back of a cartoon series that I loved, which started a lifelong obsession. It's Mech Commander. The first game of the Battletech series.
Yes,
I am
Battletech.
hardcore into mecha, which is a secret that I have now revealed to everybody.
And he will take it to the grave
I will
if
take
anyone
it.
reveals this.
I will take it and them to the grave as well. I'm going to need some cushioning when I hit
We're actually going to bleep out the word.
Yeah. You have to use your skill and judgment to see what he's talking about.
But no, Mech Commander was just fan-fucking-tastic. I got into it off the Battletech cartoon series. Real-time strategy, brilliant. All the mechs were perfectly well balanced. You could play through the campaign. There was no kind of a skirmish mode into it. I was just getting into real-time strategy, and this was fantastic.
So is this the kind of game where it gives you the stats, which are based on bars?
Stats based on bars,
So
and then
like
you had to kind of-
power, armor.
Yeah. And it was weird. It had a really curious mechanic in that the health bars on the units wasn't like how healthy they were. It was combat effectiveness. So if you blew the arms off a mech and it had no weapons, so therefore couldn't attack, it had no health.
But it could still
it
run
had
around.
full armor. So like you were there drilling away at this thing that had no health supposedly, and the fucking thing won't die. Just encountering heavy mechs that you really liked and trying to leg the bastards so you could get the salvage. Working at your salvage, and because the clans were in this, so the Inner Sphere, I think you're invading a Jade Falcon planet in it, so trying to balance, desperately trying to hoard all the clan weapons that you possibly could, because they were so much better than the Inner Sphere variants. It's brilliant. It led on to a sequel. The sequel's fantastic. It got me into the Mech Warrior series, which is an addiction. They've redone it now. There's a Battletech out on Steam. I've got it literally the day it came out. It's fucking excellent. Well worth your time. But I had to go old school, back to where it all began, the Typhoid Mary of my
Typhoid Mary was not the origin of typhoid.
Patient zero.
This is the source of the spread of for me.
You just kept letting her work in your kitchens. It's fine. It's fine.
She was cute. I don't care.
Whoa.
But yeah.
Right.
But no, it's just a perfectly well balanced game. Everything was brilliant in it. Getting in your pilots, training them up, and then hoping that they don't die in missions.
Yeah. Does help.
Just fantastic. Just excellent. Really, really, really well fucking done.
Good
Mech
stuff.
Commander, get into her. Get the second one if you probably have real difficulty getting the first one. Get the second one. It's just brilliant as well.
Great stuff.
Right.
Adam, 62.
That being the last game that Neil has told us to get into and play, I think I'll start following suit and doing that with my games.
Okay.
Okay. We're getting onto the list of games I genuinely consider to be good and worth playing.
Brilliant. About time.
My 62 is Thomas Was Alone.
Oh, excellent.
Fun little puzzler. I'm not going to say too much about it because I want you to play it.
Yeah,
Okay.
not on my list, but very well done.
Yes.
I like that.
It's great. It's simplistic. Your cubes. Your narrator is like defining the existential crisis that you're having with yourself.
It's very Stanley Parable in that kind of
but it
regard.
predates it and kind of does it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like one of my favorite things from it is just go left, which is great.
Up and to the right, Adam.
Up and to the right. Sorry, yes.
Up and to the right.
To the right. Yeah. It's like, wow. Thomas just thought up and to the right. It's like, oh, I guess I go up and to the right then. That sort of thing. And then I can't remember all the characters' names, but there's one that's really like fat and blocky.
Yeah.
And she considers herself a superhero.
That's
and
right,
just
yeah.
getting so much characterization onto these little squares just from the narrator.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, she's so plucky. And look, they have friends.
Yeah.
Different coloured squares. It's great. I will recommend it highly.
Yeah. No, there's no.
There's not much else to say on it.
No, there
just
isn't.
go
Just
play
play
it.
it.
Not much else to say without ruining it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like another. It's what 2 hours at most.
It's a very short game, but very sweet.
Yeah.
Very sweet game.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a short game, like, but you've got to really pack a lot of content in.
Yes.
Thomas is alone. It's such a fun 2 hours.
Yeah. Absolutely. My 62 actually is a game that was just name dropped. It's the Stanley Parable.
Nice.
Okay, we did not coordinate this.
No, we
Yeah,
didn't.
actually, we
No,
didn't.
We actually didn't. But to be fair, like it's there's not much.
I'm actually going to require proof here. Let me see your list.
I'll cover my 61.
I'll be down there.
All right. Stuart's inquiry because that's a thing now.
Well, you have to look at my list to figure out how to spell highlight.
I still don't know what that is.
I don't know either. I think
There's actually no definition for the word.
You
It's
think after
just-
all these fucking
yeah.
years, I just Google it, but fuck it.
It's not even a word. It is just something they made up. It's not a word. But so
very
yeah,
good.
Stanley Parable is just a very
Sorry, is this the modded version or is this the actual release?
actual version. Yeah.
Okay.
When I played it first, I don't know. I didn't realize it was a modded version. So
Yeah, it's like a Gmod.
no.
This is Stanley
This is
Parable.
this is the original. So
No,
yeah.
the Gmod map is the original.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
The full release.
Whatever, the full release. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Jesus, right.
We're going pedantic here because they are two very different games.
Yeah, that's true. But this is just a colossal piss take of games, generally speaking. Like, you do have your narrator, it rewards you going off the beaten track.
No, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it's when you say piss take,
weird.
it's a piss take in the fact that it takes tropes and
Yes.
does it a lot better.
Yeah.
In that, look at how much better I've done this, and you meant it. I'm just having a laugh.
That's what I mean. Like, it's purely about the fact that it's just like, we know games do this. We know games do all these things.
Yeah,
but
it's
because it's always like a love letter to this sort of thing, that it's able to crystallize, it's able to make it...
It's like it's the argument
So
of
obvious.
intended play.
Yes.
So, like, if a developer doesn't intend for you to do something, you know that happens because there's no consequence.
Yes.
In this, you're explicitly told to do something, and by doing the opposite or something
You're rewarded,
adjacent
yeah.
to it, like standing still in a room and hitting a door 100 times,
Yeah.
the narrator will go, well, did you find that fun? Did you get it out of your system? Okay, now we can move on.
The narrator
That
is
sort of
fucking
thing.
brilliant in it as well. He's
No,
just-
the narrator
It's just he's like slightly British and just slightly disappointed you at all times.
So sarcastic.
Yeah.
It's a good that, and as you progress, you're not really certain, like, to his nature.
Yes.
It's like at the very beginning, like, you can just vanilla the game.
Yeah.
Do what he says, go through it.
Which I did. This is what I did first.
Oh no,
time.
everybody.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, if you've not played the Stanley, if you're one of the 3 people who are listening to this and have not played the Stanley Parable,
We're going to
I
part.
heartily recommend, and everybody that I get into the game, I recommend, look, at the very beginning, your first playthrough, just do what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then come back.
Then dick about.
Then
Yeah.
dick. There's a funny thing where you can cheat your way. It's kind of similar to they've taken the piss out of the Skyrim cheat, where you know the way you can kind of glitch yourself into the body store level in Skyrim.
Yes.
You can do that in the Stanley Parable. You can do that cheat.
Yeah.
But it's just a blank room, and the narrator starts giving out to you for cheating, and he's like, "Your punishment is you must stay in this. This is a very serious room, and this is the most serious table I could find. It's the very most serious table I could find for this thing. And your punishment is you now must sit in this room with this very serious table for 100 million billion years." And then that's it. And then you just leaves you. You have to restart the game.
There's some great ones.
But he goes on about how serious the table is for like a minute.
Whoa. Did we not have the talk? Are we not in the serious room this very moment? Did I not tell you how many tables I looked through? I'm going to be conservative and say it was somewhere in the tens of thousands of tables. Any reasonable person would say I spent an absurd amount of time doing nothing but looking at tables, and I genuinely considered each one too. I took a hell of a lot of notes. I kept the notes in a different room. That room is less serious than this one. It's more of a notes room. Again, the point of this story is to convey how serious I feel this cheating issue is. And I'm sure you'll agree with me once you've fulfilled your new punishment. Infinity years in the serious room. I generally have trouble reading human emotions, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you're devastated by this crippling new punishment. As well you should be. It's the most serious I could think of. Can you get more serious than that? No, you can't. Don't try.
And I'm like, fuck it, this is brilliant.
I was just trying to make a game you'd enjoy, but clearly you don't like my game, so let's go into someone else's. And it just turns into Minecraft.
Yeah. Well, this wasn't that fun.
Then the one, there's an achievement for saving the baby 100 times.
Yeah.
It's like you have, okay, you horrible monster, if you let the baby go into the fire, you're evil.
Yeah.
After you get to 60, then you have to press another button that stops a puppy from being drowned.
Yeah.
It's like, who has the patience to do that?
But doesn't that go for like 6 hours or something like that?
Yes.
It's
insanity.
Yeah, I like how they toy with the achievements. They get people.
Yeah.
It's the achievement hunters that they really take the piss out of. And the thing is that the achievement hunters are doing all these achievements, not realizing that the whole purpose of the achievements
is to take the piss out of you.
Take the piss out. It's like, why are you doing this? Play the game the way you want to play it. Don't play it the way we think you should.
Yeah.
That's
because
one of the reasons why I hate
the whole point of the game, I think, is to try and do something that they weren't expecting you to.
Yeah.
To try and not get the response of the narrator. Yeah. And every time you do, it's like, oh, this is brilliant, you got me.
They've thought of it. They've thought of it. It's
like
jumping
off a ledge. Jumping off a ledge that they don't intend you to do when it's moving. And landing perfectly is like, oh, I honestly didn't think you'd go there. You fucker, you got me.
You know what? It would have been brilliant to be the beta tester of that game, because obviously the missions they must have just try and fuck around.
I would have actually really have loved to have been on the writing team on that one.
Yeah, that's
that
it.
would
Yeah.
have been fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
In any case, it's on my list further on. I'm certain that it's on Adam's list if he's stopped dicking around shit games. So I think the more we talk about it now, we're just going to be repeating ourselves. It's a truly wonderful game.
Exactly. So you're 62 then, Neil?
My 62 is, I'm going old school still. Jesus. Fuck me. Wow, this is an old school block.
Will we ever get up to 2018?
I'm not
it's
even.
Been
I'm actually not in this
years.
century. None of this list is in this century.
I love it.
None of it. My number 62 needs no introduction or explanation. It is Golden Axe on a Mega Drive. That is Adam.
Yeah.
With a mouthful of rum and coke and a trouser full of jizz.
Yeah, to be honest, I love that game so much. Balls to the Walls Hard classic arcade.
Just fucking nailed on, perfect. Very simple mechanics, perfected to a razor's edge. And oh my god, it was just brilliant.
Played it recently in an arcade.
Yeah.
So fun.
Oh no, I can't help myself if I'm in an arcade. There's a bar that used to frequent that has now changed, but they put in an arcade machine and it's got like 60 games on it. One of the games they've got on it is Golden Axe.
Yes.
And I hated the bar because it's now a hip hop bar, although I do like hip hop, but I hate the hipstery way.
Yeah, but it's a bar.
Hippity hop.
I hate the hipstery way that they've done it, but one of the things that gets me in that door, they've got an arcade game with fucking Golden Axe. And they also have the Simpsons game on it.
Nice.
Of course they do, yeah.
The arcade game.
Yeah, the Simpsons arcade. But yeah, Golden Axe, you just can't not. Like, if you've not played Golden Axe, you really do owe it to yourself to go back and get a bit of a history lesson, which is probably my entire list. But just, no. I would love to see like really new gamers who've only ever been raised on like AAA fucking almost photorealistic games go and play Golden Axe and think, what were people on about? But you get into it then and you don't. Oh, this is what we're into. It's so fucking good. It's so much fun.
Just playing co-op and knocking your friend off their mount and stealing the mount.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's that's like the fights you have with each other is like, and the game is so hard that getting in fights with each other is like death sentence.
Yes.
You need to work together.
Yeah, you have to work together. And then they were beating up dwarves as well.
That's the best. That's how you replenish health.
I know, with no context to a new gamer, that sounds so bad. But anybody who's played the game is like, oh yeah, those little pricks. And they come and nick your magic.
Yeah. When you fall asleep, they come and take your fucking magic. And you feel so justified to just smack the fuckers.
And if you were the Valkyrie, who the fucking gigantic magic bar, you were
literally
smacking,
her only fucking.
Yeah, you were smacking the shit out of those pricks. You were absolutely working them down.
No, my character was always the dwarf.
I actually went for the Valkyrie because her magic was just awesome. I love it, just like dragon at the final, which killed everything.
The only character with an axe. Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Golden Axe needs no further explanation because it's just so fucking awesome.
Jonathan, your thoughts on Golden Axe before you go, because you were very silent.
I was silent because I was just enjoying.
I'm not letting you get away with it.
I've never played anything from the Mega Drive, so I have missed it. So, but yeah, like I said, if I ever get a Mega Drive, definitely something I'll check out. You have sold me on, to be fair.
I'll get you the hits collection. I'll give it to you for PlayStation.
Yeah. I think I have that on the PC. I have the PC version, like the Sega hits.
No, like you've so consoled me on it. It sounds great. Sounds like good fun. Absolutely.
I was
just enjoying the kind of the banter because
get like a flat of cans in, and just stick that on, and you've got
your evening.
Fantastic. So last lap, lads. 61.
61, sticking with the good games.
Yeah.
This is an arcade game that I got for the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. A fighting game, fucking fantastic fighter, photorealistic, blood effects. You already know what this game is just from me saying it's Mortal Kombat 3.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
This is the very one nice. That I loved. We had an arcade machine in a local like restaurant area that had Mortal Kombat 3 in it, and it convinced me to buy the home version so I could get good and play the arcade machine. It's just fatalities are phenomenal. I love the character roster in this. Everyone, including Stryker, who is such a shitbag. He's
just like a corrupt cop who just walks around.
Who brings a gun to a martial arts tournament?
And then he's like whacking people with his baton.
Yeah.
I had this. And I specifically bought the 6-button controller so I could do the combos. That's the one that the Mega Drive one that had the XYZ above the ABC.
Yeah,
because
it's so fun.
X gave you the charge because you couldn't do the charge attack.
Yeah,
without.
There were a button combo that you could do it to do.
Really? Oh fuck! I just hit X, and
I think it's back and forward and while you're attacking.
All right. No, you could just hit X and your character would go. And then you could fucking murk the other guy.
I love that game so much. My character was always Sub-Zero, even though his fucking projectile is nerfed halfway through the game.
It's totally shit.
It's like everyone else's still does damage. His one's meant to just freeze them in place.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work against the stronger bosses.
Oh, right.
So you're always fucking like, Mintaro, stop!
They brought in a lot of the fucking... What are they called? The Shokran? The Shokran?
Shokans.
No, the race.
Yeah, fuck.
What are they called?
The
Goro's
race, yeah.
Shiva was the other one.
Yeah, Shokran. I thought they were called the Shokran. I
can't remember their name.
Fuck.
You'll see it in the end right now.
Yeah,
there's Goro's alternate skin, which was another character now with the tiger.
Yeah. That's Kintaro, isn't it?
I think no. Mintaro is the Minotaur one that has the 4 arms.
Fuck. What's Goro's? The skin. Oh no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because in Mortal Kombat X, you actually fight the two of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great game. It's a great series, actually.
It's actually one of the ones that got me into another character other than Scorpion, and that was Cabal.
Oh, Cabal!
Who
is Cabal? What does he do?
Yeah.
Who is he?
He just comes out of nowhere. I think he's in. They're redoing.
He's in X. His backstory is explained in that.
Yeah. He's in 11, the one that's coming out now. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, hardcore. It's the only.
That's fair.
It's the only fighting game I'm actually into.
Possibly the best fighting game out there.
Yeah.
Okay,
series.
So drastically changing tone with this one then. My 61 is a LucasArts game, and I think a lot of people kind of may consider this like, sort of like a masterpiece sort of game. It certainly has the pedigree for it anyway. This is The Dig.
Ah, nice.
So,
a flawed masterpiece, I would say.
A flawed
I
masterpiece.
would go
yeah.
flawed masterpiece.
I'd accept
I know
that.
of this. I've never played it.
Yeah. You have Steven Spielberg involved in it. You have Orson Scott Card.
Which is actually quite weird for the LucasArts games
Yeah.
because he was very
Adamant,
adamant
yeah.
that LucasArts not involve him,
Yes.
not involve Star Wars.
Don't pull me down to your level.
No, it's just, they couldn't use Star Wars.
Yes.
It was so heavily, like, you couldn't mention Spielberg without
Yeah.
Star Wars. Yeah, they couldn't use him, they couldn't use Star Wars. So
Yeah.
the fact that he got involved with the Dig was very odd.
But that's the thing. It has a fascinating backstory to it because Spielberg, I think, along with in cooperation with Scott Card, I think they had a plan to do 6 pilots on TV.
Scott Card, that's the Ender's Game gift, isn't
Yes,
it?
that's right. Yeah. And the idea was that they have these kind of 6
Never
pilots for TV. I can't remember the name of the show. I'm sure it'll come up with the edit. And The Dig was one of them.
Don't put it up with the edit. Let somebody comment it.
Yeah. We need
The one person that comments it.
And if so, thank you for tickling our algorithm.
Yes.
But the thing is, like, The Dig was one of those pilots, you see. And obviously, the I don't think the actual show ever came to air, but it was just one of the ones that were written. And then they decided, fuck it, let's just turn it into a game. And they did. So Spielberg is the executive producer on it. Scott Card writes the dialogue for it.
Yeah.
Robert Patrick, who's Terminator 2, as you may recall, Terminator 1000?
He was the T-1000,
T-1000.
yes.
He's the main character, Boston Lowe. And I believe Scott Blum is in this as one of his first gigs. He is Brink in the game. So it's a lot of those kind of things where, like, it's a lot of things that games do now from a production standpoint and from a design standpoint. It's very cinematic. It's very pre-rendered. There's a lot of, like, orchestral soundtracks. There's a lot of production. You know, where production back then didn't. Like, Loom was very, very close to doing that.
Yeah.
But The Dig was more concentrated. It was more of an effort to actually make this a actual performance.
It's a remarkably short game.
Very short
when
game.
you consider, like, the amount of time you could lose in a LucasArts game.
Yeah.
Which could be weeks.
But Loom was also short as well.
Yeah.
Like, it was concentrated. It was focused. It was a well-contained story. And, like, if you don't know, it's about an asteroid that's about to hit Earth, and it's definitely going to destroy Earth. There's no two ways about it.
Armageddon on.
Essentially, yeah, it's very inspired by Armageddon actually. But as you find out, you are playing Lowe, who's the commander of this 5-man team that's going to save Earth. That's the plan. That's the story. And they're all very different characters starting off. So you have Lowe, who's the grizzled vet. You have Maggie Roberts, who's just a bit of a bitch. Well, not a bit of a bitch. She's defiant. You know, she's
a complete bitch.
Complete bitch. And you have Brink, who's supposed to be the expert. He's the genius. He's the geologist. So he knows everything. He's perfect. And you have 2 other guys who don't matter.
The 2 red shirts.
Yeah, essentially. They're support crew, so they're just there to just spout out, like, witty jokes when you need them. Yeah, exactly. That's crap. But
how dirty was that?
that was good.
I'm actually ashamed of myself.
That was good, yeah. But so anyway, as you try and destroy the Earth, like, the
that
game
would have been a spit take. if he got me drinking, that
yeah,
would have been.
that's fair. But as the story, the game starts off so slow because all you're doing is going through the motions of destroying the asteroid, and it takes you in very well because you're just going, fuck, is this just a game, just destroying this asteroid and it's over? But no, you get sucked into the asteroid and then the game starts.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love games that have the fake out.
Yeah, it is a fake out. It is a fake out.
Monstrous fake out.
Yeah, but the actual and the puzzles in it,
very well done.
Yeah, the puzzles in it are so hard.
Yeah.
Like, the actual gameplay is very, very difficult. It actually loses marks because in my playthrough, there's a mechanic called light bridges where you have to basically they're shortcuts on the map basically. But the problem is, to get to the final level, you have to have all the light bridges activated. And in my playthrough, the game was fucked. The light bridges wouldn't activate, so I never got to the final
blame
level.
the game.
No, I don't know what it was. It just didn't.
Back in those days, like sometimes they were quite buggy. I remember.
Yeah, just
I have no
triggers
mouth
happen.
and I'm a Scream was
So buggy.
So buggy at its first release. Like,
yeah.
Thankfully now the ROM that you can play via SCUM is actually
not too bad.
It's
yeah.
updated.
Yeah, that's good. But yeah, another thing as well, the actual. One of the most impressive things for me was they actually had the idea of character development, because I remember, because with all these kind of games, like, the character does generally stay the same, but things happen, the events happen to these people. Like, Boston Lowe becomes more fretty and anxious, and Maggie actually starts listening to people, and Brink just turns mad. You know, again, not really a spoiler, it's kind of well orchestrated, let's say, but it's just something that wasn't considered. It wasn't a thing, but after the Dig it was. And generally speaking, with our kind of like our generation of gamers, it's just not really appreciated. Yeah. That this is the first game that tried it, that did it, and succeeded. The problem was it kind of fell down on the game aspect because the puzzles were so cumbersome and difficult. So it depends on your point of view, but I just think it was a much needed game in the kind of the grand sphere of things.
Perfect.
You know.
Cool.
So Neil, your last one, 61.
My 61, proper old school, can't be beaten. Precursor of a lot of modern platformers, and still the birth of a huge series on the old school PC. It's Prince of Persia.
Wow, the original Prince of Persia.
The first one, yes.
Very nice sprites, good timing,
graphics.
Fucking racing through doors, jumping over pits. Great.
The reason what hooked me on this game was something really kind of fucking touchy or something. I loved how realistic the character moved.
Yes.
The way he did the little
The
Roberto Carlos kind of shuffle as he was going for the kind of little tippy toe, and then he'd go. I was like, "That's how I jump."
That's what I should mention that, because I think even the lead designer, he actually had pictured his little brother.
He rotosculpted. He got his little brother jumping around in his pajamas.
Yes, right. Yeah.
And he rotosculpted his little brother doing that.
That's brilliant.
That's how he did it.
That's phenomenal.
And
that's the way to do it.
I was unaware of this. That's great.
Yeah, when you think about it, that's the first ever use of motion capture.
Yeah,
when you think about it,
unbelievably brilliant.
Yeah,
it would be replicated so many times in, let's all fairness, better games. Games like I hope
Prince of Persia 2.
I hope I have flashback on this.
Yeah.
Because
I
just bought the 25th anniversary edition of it.
Is that the remake one?
Yeah, but you can play the 92 original. It comes with it, but it's unbelievable.
Prince of Persia.
But Prince of Persia. There's not really a whole lot I can be said. The fucking the sword fighting in it was super tense.
Yeah.
Oh my god, because literally it was like one mistake, and it was a proper. You had to fake your opponent out. You had to make it because it was just the two of you, like, and if you just charged in, you were gonna get fucking bladed.
Yeah.
Proper style. So you had to kind of fake the guy out. So you had to get in, you had to dodge in, dodge back out, wait until he swiped.
Yeah.
I hope that you dodged out while he swiped, because if he didn't attack,
yeah,
you couldn't fuck him. And
you may want to rephrase that later.
Fuck him with your blade.
The big manly blade.
Yeah, edit that shit in. But no, it was brilliant. Jesus. And also, like, it was like you 1 or 2 hits and you were just dead. It was machine up like shit. No, just fucking tastic game, and it spawned a new race of gaming.
Yeah,
and that I don't think a lot of people appreciate.
Interesting.
Cool.
Well, there you have it, lads. That is the next part of our top 100 in the bag.
So let that tide you over for a week, yeah, plebeians.
For a month. Don't give me. I need some time.
He needs time to find.
Oh yeah, he needs time to find out.
So anyway,
to find specific instances that I threw in from other games.
Yeah, the splices, as they're called. But as always, by all means, let us know what you think in the comments, because I'm sure there's a lot of opinions you all have. Yeah, absolutely. And as always, like the video, do all the usual YouTube shit.
Comment, subscribe, post this video's link to other channels.
Yes,
and tell them that we did it so much better than they did it.
Yes,
share it on Facebook.
LinkedIn,
subscribe to our Patreon.
Instead of dickheads.
You can't get in touch with some of the social media we have, as opposed to some others that don't exist.
We actually do have social media, don't we?
Yes,
we do actually.
We do. We don't do much with it, to be fair.
You can tell how few of us actually take this channel seriously. We're not even aware of our own social media.
Anyway,
it's fine.
So lads, we will see you then for 60 to 51. Until then, lads, see you later.
Fuck me, those numbers.
Yeah.